Hey, hello again. Welcome back, everybody. Dan John here from danjohnuniversity.com. Picking up again on the 10,000 Swing Challenge. Today's day 8. Yesterday, footnote, I only did 250. We had a little issue. We still have a little bit of an issue here with the COVID. Yesterday, I just kind of hit the wall. I wouldn't say emotionally or anything. I just between helping out with sick babies and a very a dog with a real good case of diarrhea, though he's doing fine now, and the baby's fine now. But hey, remember, life impacts you. Yesterday, I was able to spend a whole bunch of time, though, working on a book I'm coming out with, which I'm very excited about again. Yeah, it's nice. So today we're back to 500 swings. The method I will use today is the up to method. So I'm just going to do a whole bunch of reps up to 500. The kettlebell is 20 kilos because I'm 65, and that's the person who put this thing together feels that's the appropriate weight for a 65-year-old. And of course, the person who put this together was me. So basically, I can do anything I want and just say the author did it, which is always fun. My dog is asleep on the sectional behind me. Yeah, if he'll probably bounce up and around a few times. After this, of course, I will do my Olympic lifting, but I'll give myself an hour or so because it gets me tired. And 500 to go. Oh, there we go. How exciting is this? Oh, the first few sets while my body is kind of warming up. And my heart and lungs are kicking in are always the toughest. Been reading a lot. I had a good year of book reading this year. I was just looking down there. Fiber-fueled lifespan, soul of a trainer. Be like the best. Season of strength. Captain Tom, for those of you in England would know Captain Tom. Exercised. It was a good book. I enjoyed that. Yeah, it was a good year for books. I try to read. Oh, I end up some weeks reading 2 or 3 books in the field because people ask me for comment or forewords or whatever. The problem is when you read that many books in one field, is they all kind of lump together. So I have been rereading a few books, taking a little bit more time. I thought it was in here. Chip Conrad's book that I like so much. I think it's called Lift with Your Head. I reread that and I was like, God, how did I miss all this good stuff in there? So be careful about reading too fast. So on the table there, I've got a new copy of Harry Potter I'm reading, and then some Irish short stories. What I find if I can read some short stories, for that little break, that 10-minute break, makes me understand the fitness and nutrition books a little better because it gives my mind a little break. All right, let's keep cranking them out today. first 100 or so, I treat a little bit like warm-ups. If any of Instagrammers have a question, go ahead and ask. So I was asked to change my setup, but the problem is now to do what I was asked to do, I have to put the coffee pot right next to all this stuff here. So whenever I go to hydrate with a delicious cup of coffee, I have to get in the way of all the screens. For those of you live, and for those of you watching later, it might be it's already happened, but tonight is the national championship football game, American football for colleges, Georgia and Alabama. It's one of my favorite things. I really enjoyed it. I get it. It's for the money, and it's to protect certain teams. I understand that. But why we don't have a real playoff makes no sense to me. I mean, I think part of the reason is a team like Alabama doesn't want to play 4 tough games back to back to back. I know that. If you look at their schedules, teams like Alabama, especially Georgia, a lot of those teams, they just never travel. And when they do travel, it's to one state over. But if they had a real true championship, that'd be so fun. That'd be so fun. Every other division of American football does it except for that one. And every excuse they try to explain makes no sense. But so tonight, though, I will be going off my diet a little bit tonight because I'm going over to my daughter's house, but I'm providing the food, and we're going to do a fiesta because that's just what we do at American football games. That's what we do. Okay, we have no questions this morning. All right. Okay, let's get over the first 100, and then let's pick up from there. One of my favorite things about this is that you can hear my body adapt by certain breathing patterns as I do this. It's kind of cool. If you've ever, I don't know, done a run for a sport or something like that, where you can feel the various adaptations the body makes. I felt that about rep number 90 there. Got a question about the functional movement screen. I'm certified, I guess, I think, to use it. What do I think about it? I mean, there's certain value. When I took it, I asked Brett Jones and Greg Cook, what are there's 2 that have great value. The active straight leg has one, and then this one, SM shoulder mobility. Those are the 2 most important ones. I have my own screen. The first one is, can you stand on one foot for 10 seconds? It doesn't matter which foot. And of course, from there, you can have the person close their eyes if that's too easy. The second thing is 2 measurements. The scale, which I explain in the book, Can You Go? Why? And then the waist measurement. And then there's 3 questions. How many pillows does it take to sleep at night? Do you eat colorful vegetables, and do you exercise half an hour a day? And of course, and I think they're online, the workshops are online. Those 3 questions don't sound like much, but they give you a lot of information about the client. And then there's 4 tests, but really the first one, can you hold a plank, any plank you like, for 2 minutes? And I don't even push the stiffness or anything very much. Just most people I have, they just can't hold a plank for 10 seconds, no matter how they do it. After that's a standing long jump, a farmer walk test, and then I like to assess people getting up and down off the ground. I used to have a real tight measurement for it, but now I can just kind of look and go, whoa. It's real obvious when someone gets up off the ground. So stand on 1 foot, 2 measurements, 3 questions, 4 physical tests. From that, I can figure out if you're a body comp, a body comp client, a strength client, or a mobility client, or a mixture of those. And I'm also get some insights into where your head is at with the 3 questions. It's interesting because very often people think that they're just these bastions of free will, and they can just, like a light switch, flip their body composition from really obese to swimsuit model, and but I just got to put my mind to it. Well, like I always joke, where's your mind been for the last 40 years? It sounds mean when I say stuff like that, but when you hear the same phrases over and over again, you have to almost cushion yourself with when you hear people say the same things over and over again, and they're not true, and they honestly don't even believe them when you really get a chance to talk downstream. You have to have some protective barriers in there. It's like if you're a coach, you have to, especially when you're working with end. So like in American football, you have seniors playing American football. If you're working with an end, that their last game is almost universally the last time they'll ever put on a helmet and shoulder pads, and it's over. So you have to practice and prepare yourself for that realization by the 17, 18-year-old that it's over. And when you were saying 5 months ago, this is it, it's over. You got to, you got to work harder. You got to pay. And they're like, woohoo! And it's funny because that senior wants to talk to the underclassmen and tell them it happens faster than you think. Do everything you can. I said, well, you'll remember that last year someone told you that and you didn't listen. So it's just a human nature thing, and that's why those 3 questions. That's way too much information. Buy my book, the old Dean Martin thing. Buy the record, So my body weight, I'm on a Facebook group who's all doing the fat loss boost, and my body weight is the worst of all. I mean, I work with somebody who's lost 18 pounds in a week. Obviously, there's a lot of factors on that, and I'm not making any inroads at all on body weight. My waistline is coming down, but my body weight, it's trending down, yeah. But remember, if you're doing a strict nutritional plan like I'm doing right now, basically chicken and veggies, except for time. It is hard, and a hard exercise program. You don't tend to make very good gains. That's why one of the things I like about Rusty Moore's work so much is that if you're doing some serious diet thing, you're getting ready for a wedding, then basically, you do 3 to 5 weightlifting exercises, easy reps, basically an easy strength template, and then go for a walk. But it's just a gentle walk, 30, 45 minutes. That's it, 3 days a week. Whereas I'm knocking out, an hour of swings every day, half an hour, 45 minutes Olympic lifting, and then a walk, and I'm just burning the bridge. So just remember that. Now, I'm also doing it for good reasons, so it's okay. It's a short amount of time, but I figure a week from today, when I stop the diet and I go back to eating, like the oatmeals and the other protein sources, I think I'll see some real changes. There's a question about me. Am I trained to go to the nationals? Yeah, on the nationals, it's a little up in the air. I have an event that weekend, but we'll just see because every event's getting canceled. So, why am I worried? Also, last couple of times I went to the nationals just after a surgery to support my friends, and then of course, but the Masters Nationals, I'm sitting in the audience and nobody knows what a press out is anymore. The officials on this platform red lighted everything. On this platform, they white lighted everything, and then it seemed like that was a good. Everybody had to do this after the lift and look for the lights because they didn't know if it was a lift or not. And I just think we got to. Personally, I don't think there should be press outs in Masters competition. I toss it out. There's no need for it. I don't think pressing out makes it easier for the lifter. I don't. I mean, of course, I'm just a guy who lifts. I'm not some psychopath. Well, I'm a psychopath. Forget. Good. Good. Next set gets over 200. Yeah, we had someone note that their body weight's gone up. And I like their little phrase there. They wrote, I got to get my nutrition in order. And that's money. Yeah, somebody asked on how are we all feeling here. The baby is rallied up. We're pretty sure the fever's broke. It's behind him. There's everybody's sleeping better in the house, and a lot of support from friends and family. It was very kind. So we're doing better. It's interesting how, and I'm sure I get people from all over the political spectrum, but how the hell did we let ourselves politicize a disease? Well, we did, if you think about it, huh? Remember with AIDS, you know, gosh, I remember AIDS. And I just remember how happy some people were. And I mean this, folks. Some Americans were just so happy because it was hitting us, it was targeting a certain population. And you could just see it, the glee on the faces, you know. I was walking up to an event one time and a sign said, AIDS, God sent AIDS to kill. And then there was this very offensive phrase. And I thought to myself, when did this stuff happen? So here we are. Back. And thank you so much. Yeah. A couple people I know, I mean, personally know, who were, you know, all anti this and anti that. Their opinions completely changed when they came out of comas after being incubated, I think it's called, for, in one case, 2 months. Somebody was radically anti-vax and all this stuff. Now, of course, he's like, he's just like those anabolic steroid users when they find out they have some disease. And it's like, well, you know, now that I've found God, I just feel like, well, then give all your trophies and medals back. Okay? Do that. Got an email, I think I've told the story before, got an email a couple years ago that somebody had discovered religion and told me that these championships that this person had defeated me in, the person was on a lot of drugs. And I feel terrible about it. My thought is, well, you know, contact the organization and give me the medal, you know? But that, of course, would never happen. I don't know why I went on that segue. That was deep, mean. Oh, I know why, because I started talking about stuff. All right, so we'll get over 200 on this this round. For some reason, things are going well today. That was bad. That was not a good start. Okay, yay. We're over 200. Good. Uh, and welcome, Instagram friends, if you have questions. Remember, on Instagram, if I don't see the question, sometimes it scrolls up, so you might have to repeat the question. And when I fat thumb it, when I'm tired, sometimes well, one time I lost the entire Instagram live thing, which isn't optimal. I've gotten a lot of feedback on doing the swings in this direction, and people saying it's actually much better than me throwing the bell at the camera. I don't care, but one thing someone said is that by watching me do them sideways, you get a sense of why these are so good for the hamstrings. The hamstrings act like, well, basically it's just a bow and arrow, huh? It's just the hamstrings are the bowstring. I pull them, I let go. I pull them, I let go. I pull them, I let go. And then, fortunately, my body then spends the next 24 hours repairing all that little damage that happened. But I've always thought that the bow and arrow is the best way to explain throwing, Olympic lifting, and kettlebell swings and the kettlebell ballistics, but mostly the kettlebell swing. Uh, the longer I do kettlebells, the more and more I just think that, oh, certainly there's value in all those other exercises, but really the swing, the goblet squat, those are the two big ones. You know. Oh, let's try to get close to halfway on this one. Oh. Fill up some coffee. Again, if you have questions here on Instagram Live, let me know. I did yesterday. I cleaned out my hot pot, the one I make tea and hot water and all that stuff out of. That's hot pot. It's you plug it into the wall, boils water, for tea. I don't know what you call it in different places. A kettle. That's my students call it a kettle, I think. But it is amazing because you add vinegar and you swish it around like this, and then you add water and you swish it around again, and all these massive chunks of minerals just fall off the walls of it, and it's, I don't know. To me, it's the way I think of. I think that the vinegar does to the mineral deposits what exercise does to like stuff hanging around in your bloodstream. It goes in there and it hacks away and cleans things up, and then you pour it out. Not scientific, but that's how I like to think of it. We had a question about any plans to compete in the Highland Games this year. Yeah, I did a couple before the COVID. There's just, this sounds horrible. Don't take this wrong. They're not as fun as they used to be for me. They've turned into, I call it track meets and kilts. People, get all mad about whether it's a D ring or an O ring, and I'll be honest with you, here locally, I left when it was really clear that a lot of guys were really juicing. I mean, it was just obvious. Interesting question. How do you feel about kombucha, whatever it is called? Because right behind you, I have a whole bunch of what's called hard kombuchas. It comes from, I say the word wrong, so just get used to it. But they actually have alcohol in them. I was given these from a big event here in Salt Lake. And since I eat kimchi, I get what I need from kimchi, sauerkraut, coffee, tea. That's the fermented foods I focus on. Last year I took a fermentation course. I'd taken it online because, of course, COVID. I learned so much about food. I was shocked at how many foods are fermented. I mean, that's. I mean, obviously, it's going to be in the Asian food tradition, the yogurt tradition. Everyone knows those, but I didn't know coffee and tea had to be fermented. I didn't know that. Wine, obviously, beer, alcohol is all fermented. Some people can add pickles into fermentation. I don't. I can see why you would, but it is a little different. But I tell you something. Last night I had yesterday afternoon I had a massive bowl of kimchi because I was hungry, and boy, satiation. The mistake I've been making, I haven't been eating enough protein, so I've been trying to fix that. So yeah. Okay, I thought we had a question. Okay, so we're at halfway. I did halfway in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets. Really? That's actually pretty good for me. Towards the end of this, I'll be doing 10 sets of 50. At least that's what I did last year. There is one problem. I don't know if you guys know this, but every year I get older, and it's not always helpful for performance to get older. Yeah, no one's writing this down. One of the problems with this, of course, if you do enough swings, you always have to blow your nose. Give me 10 seconds. When I got back from the Middle East, I used to cross country to undo some damage. I used to cross country ski all the time. And I quickly learned never to have any kind of mustache here because you end up with this big crusty snot stash. Do we have a question here? Interesting question. I don't know if most people would want to do that, but the question would be, is there a kettlebell exercise for the hip flexors? Well, I can't do it anymore because the tree that all this stuff was on got destroyed in a storm. But I used to have rings on a tree, and we used to call these ring swings. So I'm holding rings like this, okay? And I can only do it with one leg, okay? So I throw my legs back. It's just like being a little kid on a swing, and you pump yourself forward. Like, you know how you do this on a swing? Except the difference is instead of sitting on the swing, you're hanging. I guess you could do it with a hanging bar, but you got to do it with something. And you just swing. And a lot of people, runner types, felt that was very. It's not an exercise that that stretches or strengthens. It just seems to put your pelvic bowl in place. Ring swings. Okay, so we have two different kinds of questions. One is I don't fully understand the question on pressing, if you could re-ask that. But any tips for an aspiring coach? Yeah, I've got this. I answer this on the podcast all the time. Oh, shoot, another question. Yeah, the first thing is I think you should compete in an Olympic lifting meet because you should know the Olympic lifts. And competing will teach you about tension and tempo. You need to know the Olympic lifts, the power lifts. I think you need to know kettlebells. I think you know traditional barbells. So there is some education in how to do the lifts yourself. You need to have some concept of nutrition. I like Precision Nutrition, John Berardi. Sorry, that just dropped out of my head. You need to understand the tools of recovery somehow. You need to understand sports really well. Either have competed them or study them, but you need to know the sports you help coach in. You don't have to play professional, but you need to understand the needs. That's a good start. Yeah. I'm always a believer that the overhead press is more important to do than the bench press. That's just standard on my world. So yeah, I hope that answered your question. I forgot what number I was on. Oh, let's. If you're a Pat Flinner, you're going to stop in the next because we're getting over 300 next. Okay. Ah, good. Ah, good stuff. So let me give you some more advice on being a strength coach. Yeah. We've once again the COVID questions. Yeah, baby's fine. Everyone's coming around. Yeah. Back to that question on strength and conditioning advice. At the University of Dan John, we got that special for the goal setting class. You should at least take the goal setting class and the programming class. Hell, easy strength pretty too. But with those, goal setting is one thing, goal achievement is the other. And that's what I focus on, is goal achievement. And then when it comes to programming, the number one thing you need to be able to do is just kind of have some personal clarity on what's going on there. Yeah. It can get very confusing. And it gets confusing because of the hucksters. It's like when somebody asks me about intensity, I got 100 definitions. So one of the feedback I get from the YouTube videos is that I repeat the exact same answers all the time. But yeah, 20 kilo bell because I'm 65. We're sneaking up on the downhill here, and that's nice. Yesterday, somebody asked me about. My favorite mysteries, so I started watching some Hercule Poirot last night, and the problem is you have to join something called BBC Family or something like that to watch the original ones that I used to own on VHS. It's like, man, I'm not gonna. I get tired rebuying the same stuff every couple of years. But there's some Hercule Poirots that are really good. The one I'm watching, I don't remember the title of it, but it's where it starts off with a funeral, and the next day, the crazy aunt is killed with a hatchet. And I only watched about 45 minutes or an hour of it, so I'll watch that sometime today. I'll get some reading in. I got a new book coming out, so I'll be writing today. I'll be Olympic lifting today. I'll be eating vegetables today. Living the dream, folks. Living the dream. I'll be drinking a lot of coffee. The numbers, they don't move. But within a few days, I'll be halfway through this, and that'll always be good. I need to start better today. My starts have not been good today. They've been a little sloppy, and I apologize as an instructor. I've been getting way too close to the bell at the start of the rep, and I apologize. I should be back here, basically already hinged. Tilt the bell to me, and then sit back, pop it in. There. In fact, you can hear Leo upstairs. Good for him. It's funny how his mom shouldn't have made it. Worst moment of my life. And then when he was born, he shouldn't have made it. And it's the way life goes, I guess. There's something profound in my head right now. Leo and I do this thing. He's only 9 months old, so if someone's holding him, I walk over and I lean my forehead. Then he leans my forehead into mine, and we kind of have a gentle forehead touch. And I told my daughter, I said, please get a video of this. And I can't believe how important it is to me because, I know I have more yesterdays than tomorrows. But I also know that it's not going to be very long from now that I'll be like, oh my God, you know, he'll be a little boy doing some disgusting behavior, you know. But it'll be nice for him to have the video of me, you know, breathing. And it'll be nice for me to have the video of him in that beautiful moment of just love, you know. And folks, that's your lesson for the day. There's a lot more important things than six-pack abs and cannons. Not much, but something. All right, we're at a good number here. Really good number. Then of course the math skills kick in. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so at this one, there's a chance I'll get over 400. Remember now, be sure to watch how important the start is, the setup is. Okay. So since I haven't been setting up very well, I'm gonna spend more time every rep to remind you to always set up correctly. I'm gonna start wearing a half shirt so you can see my abs. Okay. At the next one. Okay. Pick it up and put it down like a professional. Always try to start every rep kind of inside the tube, okay? So the feet, hips, shoulders, the tube. So whenever I want to start a lift, I always want to be in the tube. Even when I teach things like the windmill, I try to teach people to stay inside the tube. Don't let yourself get out in space, especially when you're doing something ballistic. Okay. How many reps till now? So that was 401. So I have 99 to go. I think that's what you're asking. And then when I finish today, if I finish, you know, who knows? I'll be at 3,750 because I only did 250 yesterday. And then I'm thinking next Sunday again we'll do the 250. Tomorrow I'm gonna have to jam. Last week I finished and I did Pat Flynn's podcast, but I was still breathing hard. I sounded like some kind of like a murderer or something there. Yeah. But it's hard. It's hard for me to. I don't have a lot of enthusiasm doing the 500 swing challenge because I don't. I do it because a number of people online ask me to do it with them to support them. In fact, some of our people watching here now, I think I saw the names, do it with me, and I do it to support you. I've done the 10,000 swing challenge a lot of times. It's got to be certainly over a dozen, sneaking up on 2 dozen, if not more. And I get what I get out of it. I get very tired, but my workout is about an hour after this one when I do the Olympic lifting. So for me, you know, I go a lot slower than I would if this was all I was doing. I would would use a heart rate monitor, and I'd crank through it, and I'd do goblet squats in between sets, and I'd be all gung-ho. And, that thing where they slap their hands and yell at the camera, I would do a lot more of that. Hey, don't know what that... I got to start selling those DVDs. Just string together, those ones that are on TV, those crap TV. Just string together a bunch of crap, get a bunch of fitness models to say how good it is, and then sell my soul. Okay, it doesn't sound like I'm going to do that, because I just... Okay, let's get some swings in, huh? Sorry, this is probably too many. You get kind of swing crazy after a while. I'm going to move the bell up just a little bit. Okay, reminder, you step back from the bell, you get yourself in a nice hinge, you reach forward, tip the bell back to you, sit back. I'm trying to do the math to get myself done on time. Hi, new people. Hi. Oh, we have another question. I'm sorry. So, reminder, pick it up and put it down. At my workshops, I always say like a professional, like you've been there before. One of my knocks on some young Olympic lifters now, they'll do a lift and drop the bar. It doesn't matter. They'll just drop the bar from here. Where guys like me who grew up with iron plates and stuff, we have to respect everything. But I don't think, for me, putting the weightlifting bar down like a professional will be on a jerk. I'd go here, here, and then gently bring it down. But I try to do the same thing with kettlebells. So when on my last rep, and swing it forward and gently bring it down so there's no mark on the carpet. What is cool, and I'll tell you this, after I do these, I can come in a couple hours later and see where my feet were on the carpet, but I can't see where the bell was. So I don't know. You can do whatever you want, obviously. Well, welcome, hello, everybody new. We only have 60 reps to go today, and as always, the Instagram people are great because they ask questions, and then I try to repeat them for my YouTube friends. It's great to have you on board. Again, there's nothing. The funny thing about this, I was about to say there's nothing fancy. You do 500 swings. If you tossed in some push-ups and or overhead presses, or you do, that's not bad. By itself, 500 swings is pretty good. I mean, I do think you probably need something upper body, but yeah, that's not bad. Presses and snatches. Okay, Kirill, when I get back, I hope I pronounce your name right. When I get back after this set, I want to talk about what presses and snatches. Okay. Yeah, we'll go 30 and 30. Whew. Oh, that was not good. Okay. That was more. When I think I was 14, and I was thinking, that I would still be training 50 years later, and that if all I did was the clean and press, Olympic bar, clean and press, and squat snatch, that I would do everything I would need at that age. It's funny because I was 14 and I thought that. And that's not bad. That's not bad. That's what I thought at 14. The only thing I would say with that, maybe do a suitcase carry, go for a walk, and hell, that's fine. So those two are fine. With kettlebells, the swing or the snatch. I mean, the snatch is fine. But I think the swing better. It's obvious when you do enough of them. I mean, if you just did, you could probably come up with 2 exercises too. I'm not a huge fan of total minimalist programs. I get those questions all the time, and I answer them because I think it's I like questions, limiting questions. If you only had 15 minutes, what would you do? If you only had one piece of equipment, I like those, but I don't. I have 3 Olympic bars, 31 kettlebells, 4 TRXs. My grandson, he's doing better. I have 2 different kinds of farmer bars. I have deficit deadlift station, 2 different hip thrust machines, all in my home gym. This isn't my home gym. This is just my family. So, for me, I can do anything I want, but I still like the intellectual exercise of limiting, which is why that's why I think it's so important to read books you may or may not agree with. It's the intellectual exercise. In fact, one of the things my professors made us do all the time was to defend an argument and then take the opposing side and defend that argument, because that's how you know. That's how you know things. Okay, we got a question. This lucky person, his sister married an Irishman. Yeah. Well, listen, I only got 20 reps to go. Am I right? Yeah, 20. So this will pretty much end it. But for those on Instagram, I'll stick around for, like we usually do, another minute or 2. But for those of you on YouTube, thanks for coming back. Reminder, if you have questions, podcast at danjohnuniversity.com. Yes, it's a long address, but, be sure you read and reread your question so that the person trying to answer it can understand it. And remember, we have that really big sale going on at danjohnuniversity.com right now. Huge sale. If you use the word new year, one word, new year, you get a big discount on the membership, but you get the goals course for $15, which answers a question we had earlier. And remember, my stuff is not setting goals, it's achieving goals. And again, I'm not trying to achieving goals, I'm better than anybody. No, but I try to come up with systems that help you achieve your goals. And of course, the most important thing is the clarity of the goal has to be at a good place. I moved all my books around, but BJ Fogg's book is in here. BJ, B, letter J, Fogg, F-O-G-G, Tiny Habits. I strongly recommend everyone go to his website and learn what that means. It's worth your time. For me, I often have people do extremely small goals, but achieve them. So they get used to achieving goals. They get used to, okay, I can do this, which means I can do this, which means I can do this. Most people go, and they need to go A to B, they go A to Z, or A to Z, as my European students always tell me. All right, last set, best set. now off to go watch Hercule Poirot. Hey, friends on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. We'll see you again tomorrow. That's 500 reps again today. My total on day 8 now is 3,750. My body weight isn't where I want it to be yet, but we're going to whoosh that thing quickly, okay? Thanks again, everybody. I'm Dan John from danjohnuniversity.com. And until next time, let's all keep on lifting and learning, okay? Thanks a lot.